and welcome along to the Invincible podcast with my man Lee Judges in the building. How you doing, bro?
Yeah,
calm down since last week?
Yeah, very much so, so, yeah, the things that have happened over the last day or so, you can't really moan about transfers, can you, really?
Honestly, that Diogo Jota
unbelievable
news, it hit me like, honestly, I couldn't believe it, right? I woke up in the morning and I saw it on my phone, because the guys, what they'll do is they'll post little significant things sometimes in the group. A lot of time transfer stuff, so that we're all up to date on what's happening in our sort of WhatsApp group. And I saw that and I was thinking, oh, must be a transfer. And then I looked and it was all written in Spanish at first because that's when it was first broke. And I was like, what? I pressed the translate thing on. I go, what? Jota? I go, I hope this is not true.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was hoping it was a hoax.
And then it just started coming out like everywhere, and I just can't believe it. The guy had everything ahead of him, didn't he? I mean, not only did he have everything ahead of him, but he's just also come off the back of what football terms. You think of it both in his personal life and in his football life, everything's almost perfect. You've just won the league. You've just won the Nations League.
Yeah, forgot about
Remember
that.
you won both of those, right? That's in your, and then you've got a whole new season to look forward to. Your team's buying great players like Wirtz and that, so it's exciting, it's refreshing, right? You've got the World Cup to look forward to at the end of the season as well, right? And you're in that squad, right? And you've just won the Nations League, so that's exciting. Then in his personal life, 2 weeks ago, he married his long-term partner. So that's exciting. Now you got that all ahead of you. You've got 3 beautiful kids. Everything is just
lined, isn't it?
Just like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, if ever we needed a lesson in why it's important to live every day, enjoy every day, because we have a tendency to moan a lot. And I'm not talking about football here. Listen, we moan about football, and that's another thing. A lot of it's banter and stuff like that. But we have a tendency to moan a lot about life. I feel, Monday gone, when it was a really hot day, everyone, it's too hot. Then on the next day, it's too cold. We moan about this, we moan about that. Whereas what we need to start doing is more being grateful for life, being grateful for the things we do, be grateful for good health. But if we actually start to do that more, we realise that by far outweighs any negatives for the majority of people. Not for every single person, but for the majority of people in this world, that by far, far, far outweighs the negatives. But we seem to focus a lot on negatives, and as I said, Monday, that was like beautiful weather, but the stories in all the papers is, sweltering weather, this could be heat wave, run for cover, this, that, instead of it being a positive, it's going to be a beautiful summer's day, put your sunscreen on and that, be careful, but enjoy the weather, have a barbecue, be out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why are we always so negative? And then you see what's happened with Diogo Jota, and I'm just gutted for him and his family. I'm gutted for Liverpool fans. I ain't gonna lie, these Liverpool fans have gone through so much tragedy. Heysel, Hillsborough, even when they had their parade the other day, some idiot goes and drives his car into the fans on a day when they should be celebrating. And then now this. I mean, honestly, I feel sorry for Liverpool fans, man. They've had to take a lot over the years, I think that's one of the things that makes that club so strong, that always brings them together, and they always have, I think of all the clubs in this country, they have that, don't they? They have that real camaraderie, family type vibe to Liverpool, and a lot of it is because they've been through a lot of these moments where they have to come together, but I really feel it for the Liverpool fans. This is horrible, man. I can't remember something like this, Lee, where a footballer, I know we've had things like Czech Tiote but a footballer of his profile who's still playing in the Premier League,
Well,
I mean, yeah, there's Reyes, but Reyes, you know,
Reyes.
sad as that was, he's retired. I mean, this is unprecedented.
You know, like, one thing it tells you is that life's a gift. You know what I mean? And like, you've got to live it and enjoy it. You know, and try and be nice to everybody and things like that. I know you can't be all the time, but that's how it should be. Like, you know, and we was talking about this yesterday, weren't we? Like, you know, I couldn't really function that much yesterday. Like,
no,
you know
me neither.
And I don't know him or whatever. But there was times thinking about his mum and dad. You know, to lose not just one son but two sons at the same time. I can't believe what. And not only that, you know, their mum and dad must be going, God, we've been gifted by God here, like, you know, two sons playing professional football, living their lives, and then that happened, like, you know, and the way it's done, way it was, like, you know, like, mapped out, your life's mapped out for you. That's how I see it, like, you know, if he hadn't picked up that little injury, he would have flown instead of drove there and all that, like, you know. And it's just, and Rob, if he wasn't a footballer, he wouldn't be in the Lamborghini. He'd probably be in a slower car that would have survived. You know what I mean? I don't know, like, you know, these fast cars and things like that. It's just tragic, you know what I mean? And like, from our point of view, you don't know these players personally, but you get to know them, don't you? You know, it's like with the Arsenal players. It is like when people turn around and you say it's a family and everything like that, like, you know. And yeah, like, you know, the only other time I can remember anything like that was the guy from Cardiff that died on the plane crash. Yeah. It was the only one, like, you know what I mean?
Even
but other than that
was a terrible.
But he wasn't no one that was playing in the Premier League or whatever, like, you know.
It wasn't as high profile like Jota. Like, this is not a fringe player. This is, no disrespect to Salah, who died in that plane crash, but this is, you know, a superstar player at a superstar club. That's in his prime, 28. As I said, just won the league, won the Nations League, and I can't remember in this country something of that magnitude with a current player.
No, I just don't know. You know, I'm not being horrible. Like, it's affected me. It's affected you. I know we were talking about this yesterday. It's affected the whole footballing world, I think, like, you know.
Yes.
But for Liverpool players and the community of Liverpool, how are they going to cope with that?
How are those players, who a lot of them are now going back?
Yeah, but
how are you going to go back and train?
I think they go back Monday. That's why he was coming back, wasn't he? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
how are you going to train for? I wouldn't want to train, to be honest. I'd need a little bit. Listen, there'll be some players that you know, training will help to get their mind off it, and there'll be other players, I'm sure, that maybe would be asked and say, I don't really feel in the mood to train, because, you know, they're just going to be thinking about him being there, and I think the thing is, you start to think about his kids that are left behind, the family, you know.
I haven't been able to,
awful.
You know, when it happened yesterday and everything like that, but like, you go through social media now, and it's on the, like, yesterday I was on the set, I couldn't watch it. You know, they showed pictures of his kids, and then, you know, like, there was one where he was playing football with one of the kids on the pitch after the game. I can't.
Yeah, it's awful, man.
It's absolutely awful.
I had to say
like,
to the guys yesterday, I was like, Transfer Daily was already out, and I just said to them, this is why we're doing the show today. I said no shows today, man. We can't do shows on after something like this has happened.
We didn't want to, though, did we? I didn't want to. How can you moan about a transfer or something?
Exactly. I didn't want to, and I said the same on DR. I go, listen, after we did a video on what had happened, and I was just like, no videos for nothing else for the day. I have a mark of respect, man. Like, it's a horrible moment. And yeah, you know, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, just thoughts and prayers
goes out to his family, you know, and to Liverpool fans as well. They must be really hurting from this one. This is another horrible moment for them. Really, really sad situation.
One thing I want to say, and you know, there's no positives to go on this, like, but the song that they sing about him, the Liverpool fans, and they sing it, it's a classic song, like, great song, and you know, like, they were playing it yesterday at Anfield. You know what I mean? It, like, hairs on the back of it, you know what I mean? Not make sure, you know. So I know that he'll live forever with Liverpool fans. Yeah. I'd imagine when we go to Anfield in a few weeks, you know, next month or whatever, third game in, they'll all be singing that song. and you know, and yeah, like, you know, you go on and in memory and everything like that. It's just, you know, it's just a horrendous
situation for Liverpool fans and for his family the most, you know. So, and his teammates, it's going to be hard for them.
Yeah,
it's going to be hard for them, really tough for them. You know what? On transfers, last night I was with Sol Campbell. Last night I was at some event.
Oh, good old Sol.
Do you know it was 24 years to the day yesterday
that he signed for Arsenal?
That he signed for Arsenal from Spurs.
Where's that all gone?
And he was saying to me, he's really fascinating because he's saying to me that he understands the obviously the hatred from the Spurs fans for what happened, and he goes, they don't understand everything that went down with that situation. But he goes, for it to be still to this day with that amount of venom, he goes, you just don't understand it. And I kind of with him again, like, I mean, I get it. He's always going to be a pariah figure for Spurs fans. But there is still a real venom.
There is.
24 years after.
I'm not so... I'm very annoyed when Van Persie went.
Yeah, but so was I.
But I'm sort of...
You're over it.
Over it a little bit now, like, you know what I mean?
I'm over with everybody who left. They left. I even start to, after a while, look and think, well, actually, let me see from their point of view.
Exactly,
you know, like Ashley Coles and people like that. I really hated him when he went, but I don't anymore. Like, you know. So
Ashley Cole has come out and said a few things afterwards, and you know, you think, well, I understand why you done it.
Yeah, Adebayo, all those, you know what I mean? You know, but
not Adebayo.
Yeah, but I don't hate.
Nah,
Adebayo. I've got no hatred. Like he's
but he's never going to be
24 years on.
He's not on my Christmas list.
Yeah, I know, but 20. I'm not expecting.
He'll never be an Arsenal.
Sol Campbell, I'm not expected to be on any Christmas list.
He'll never be like. Listen, people like
of any Tottenham fan, but the venom. 24 years on.
You got like if they have an anniversary of Tottenham, Sol Campbell can't go. I don't think Adebayor could go as well. Like, but yeah, like it's funny that it was 24 years ago. Like, obviously, my brother being a Spurs fan, that come through on the news, and I rang him up and I said, "God, what about old Sol Campbell then?" Like, you know what I mean? And he's gone, "What? Where's he gone?" I said, "Arsenal," and he went, "Oh yeah, you're making a." I went, "No, he's definitely he's a gooner," and he got the hump. He got the hump on the phone. Don't you winding me up? I said, it's on there. You go, he's gone to Arsenal. He's no way he could do that. He ain't done that. Like, and he was. At
the time,
I was like partying. Like,
listen, I was partying. With some of my Tottenham mates. It's like they wanted to fight me.
Oh no,
I get it, but it's 24 years on now. Well, move on, man. Still have it. Listen, it's still always going to be there. As, you know, something that was, I mean, it was seismic at the time. So it's not going to be something that will ever be forgotten. I know I'm not telling them to forget that. But the venom. Yeah. They still have that venom now.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? You know.
24 years after.
Yeah. You can't, you know.
And he was saying to me, like, you know, he goes, Robbie, there are other players have made moves like that. They don't get the venom. Like, he was saying, like, Luis Figo. They moved from Barcelona to Real Madrid. Remember at the time they threw like a pig's head.
Yeah.
Right? And the venom around that one, but they're not.
Bentley went from not via, but it was an Arsenal player. Went to Spurs.
I think he was saying Kenny Miller. He was saying to me yesterday, went from Celtic to Rangers to Celtic.
Yeah, what's the other one? Mo Johnson, he got a lot of stick.
Yeah.
Remember, he got
but he was saying to me, he goes, they've all had stick, but they haven't had the stick that his one's worse. And it's true, like, I mean, Rangers Celtic, with all the connotations around that, you'd have thought that would be even more. But it's the
one thing that I think grates on Spurs is, one, it was a free transfer.
Yeah.
So we never had to, we didn't have to pay him anything. I should laugh, I'm going to. And secondly, according to a couple of my Spurs mates, like, what they don't like is it sort of puts in big bold letters that Arsenal are a bigger and better club than Spurs. By
I get that.
You know what I mean? That's what hurts them. Like, do you know what I mean?
And he went on to win.
Well, he went on to win.
Invincible.
Win on to win the double.
And
then win
so
the
he was
title,
right, innit?
Win the title at White Hart Lane.
Yeah.
You know.
I get it.
Yeah, I understand.
But it's
Soul coming out to say that. You know what I mean?
24 years. Chill out, man.
And listen, he was a great player for us.
Great player.
The only player that's ever got the love playing for both teams is Pat Jennings.
Pat Jennings. He's actually, funny enough, me and Sol was talking about that as well. He was like, I was going, he's the only person. He's going, he goes, Pat Jennings played for both.
And respected by
both.
He's a Tottenham man. He does all the stuff at Tottenham, doesn't he? But you know, you would never.
But even George Graham. Remember, George Graham went to.
There's a lot of.
And I was really upset, and loads of people were really upset about that. But now George Graham can come back to Arsenal. No one.
I don't know.
George Graham's been back at Arsenal.
Yeah, I know, but
George Graham was on when Wenger left. George Graham was there. And I've seen George Graham. I see George Graham at an event at Arsenal.
I've been.
And everyone was talking to him, pictures, no problem.
I went to an event with George Graham. Was there doing something, and he got heckled by a lot of Arsenal fans.
Did he? When was that?
It was a few years ago. I can't remember where it was now. But it was a posh do, and it was like a lot of the ex-Arsenal players there. And when he come on stage, he got heckled.
Wow. Well, I saw him. I'm trying to remember. It wasn't even. I think it was last year or something. An Arsenal thing. Was chatting to him. No issues, man. I've seen him at a couple of things. No issues, and I was really upset with him when he left. Went to Tottenham. I was like, "What are you doing?"
And won him a trophy.
And won him, when they won their League Cup. Right. So,
I went to.
He's come back.
He was at Kevin's funeral.
We got over it.
So, and you know, I got no ill feeling. I went straight over to him, like, you know what I mean. That's sort of forgiven for us. But we was on a high. We were still like, you know, like a top team then, weren't we? Like, you know what I mean. So, I get.
It was still bad though, because he's a legend to go in like that, because he's an Arsenal legend. 89, all things like that, and then you go to Spurs.
I'd love to ask him why he done that. Was it because of Arsenal sacked him?
Could be. But he's been. My point is that we've accepted him back. He's come back. We ain't got no. I've not really seen. I mean, he feels, you know, at ease enough to come to events at the stadium. He's been at the games. I mean,
Terry Neal. There's another one. Like, Terry Neal actually. This is a great story. This is like, you know, I mean, Terry Neal was captain of Arsenal, and he went over to manage Tottenham and relegated them. And then come to Arsenal, won the cup. Good old Terry Neal. Like, I mean, like, that was superb. You know what I mean? So yeah, he done that. Good old Terry Neal. Like, become an Arsenal legend. You know what I mean? So.
But speak up to Sol, man. It was nice chatting to him last night. You know what I mean? At that event. But transfers, been a bit of activity.
Has it?
Well, Kepa's announced.
Oh yeah.
I think the Zubimendi thing was delayed. From what I heard, because of what happened with Jota. So Zubimendi, Kepa, Norgard, they're all going to get, you know, right? So they're all in the bag, right?
Well, aren't we? Like, you know what I mean? We're replacing these players. We've let players go.
Still no striker though. I want to ask about this one, right? Noddy Madueke, who that's getting talked about a lot. You know, even yesterday I saw Fabrizio Romano saying that Arsenal have held more talks again internally about the possibility of signing him. He'd be open to him move to Arsenal. Where are you on this one, Noddy Madueke? Would you have him at Arsenal?
Well, I'd have anything at the moment, like, you know what I mean, at the end of the day.
Another Chelsea player?
Well, it is getting to a stage where I'm getting a little bit, I don't know about, like the Kepa one I get, you know what I mean, like, you know, but I don't know, like, you know, it looks like there's definitely been contact, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know, from what I'm making out of it, there does.
Definitely.
And funny enough, this is a mad thing, right? I just before coming here, I got a coffee, and there was a Chelsea fan, and he's going, "You bought a strike?" That's what they're all like having a little dig at you in a way, like, "You bought a strike yet?" Like, you know what I mean? So I said,
they bought a striker, they bought João Pedro.
So I said, no, we ain't bought no one yet, like, you know what I mean? So I said, not like you lot keep buying them. Like, how'd you keep doing it? He says, like, because you keep funding them. And I thought, right, that's it. No more, like, chill, like, you know what I mean? Like, so, you know what I mean? And he also, like, going, like, I know you have, but I've not watched none of this World Cup thing.
Club World Cup. I watched some of it. Yeah.
So he's turning around, and, you know, they've got a free hit to the final, or it looks to it now.
Yeah, they've got the easy route. Because I was with a Chelsea fan. The guy who sat next to me last night at this event, he's a Chelsea fan, and that's what he was saying. He's going, he goes, "Have you seen our side?"
So the jaw like that.
Fluminense, Al Hilal, those are the sort of teams.
So they're going to have the semi-final. So he's going to be getting at the final of that now, like, you know what I mean, and add that to our trophy. I'm going, cry. I've got they get knocked out soon.
On the other side of the group, you've got like Real Madrid, Bayern Munich.
Yeah, there's Chelsea.
He's not going to. And they already lost the game in the tournament.
I think they do it deliberately. They
could make to the final. Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
I know.
And do you see how much money you get for winning it? It's like 90 odd million.
Oh, done. And they haven't played anybody yet, and when they did, they lost.
We're disrespecting that Al Hilal. They beat Man City. You know what? This tournament's actually been all right, you know.
I wouldn't know. I've not watched it.
I've watched quite a few games, right? And you know, I like the format. The fact that, you know, it's not like before where almost like the European teams would be fast-tracked to the semi-final fighting it, and they'd nearly always win it. This one's like a proper competition. And these teams, right, they're fighting. I watched that game the other night, Fluminense, when they played, I think it was Inter. They had a better team. They were, and they won it. I'm telling you, even when the game finished, you looked they were showing like the crowd. Their fans were crying, some of them. I mean, this is big for them. That Al Hilal, like a Saudi club, people diss Saudi this, Saudi that, but hey, they're a good side. Yeah, they've got good players, Koulibaly, but then also some local players. I think it's good for football, man. Well, it's good.
You know, like,
and I want one of them to win it. I don't want. No way do I want. You know what? I don't want any European team to win it. I would like to see one of them South American teams, or even that Saudi team, win it, just to see the reaction. You know, I would. I don't want to see a European team win it. I think PSG is still going to win it for my books, but they're jammy Chelsea, like you said, like PSG, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. I think Dortmund. They're all on that side. All on that side
of the draw. And like, you know, he's sitting there now. He's sitting there, like, you know, gloating about it, like, you know. And you think, oh God, like, I know a couple of Chelsea, a couple of my mates and all that. Like, if they were to win it,
they can win it.
They've gone, that's it. They've got
a whole set.
They actually were. So there's no shame in these Chelsea fans. No, I had my Chelsea mate phone me up, and he's going, "That's it. We've completed the European monopoly now by winning that conference." So I said, "No one wants to be in the cup. Doesn't matter. We've completed it." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
they actually have,
and they have.
And then if they win this, they've completed the whole set.
The whole set.
Oh man!
No, they can't be having that.
Like, they shouldn't even be in the thing. Should be no. They haven't even come in this season. The first time they come in the top 4 for years, and they're in the Club World Cup.
And they're buying every player that they can possibly do.
They're such like. I was chatting to this Chelsea fan last night. They're so crooked, that club, man. They sold their women's team for 200 million.
Oh no, they're unreal, aren't they?
That's the only reason why they're within the PSR rules. You've got to hand it to them. They've
just got that devious thing about them, haven't they? Like, they've always had it, Chelsea. Like, they're devious. They bend the rules. And you look at it and you think, fair play.
You know what, you just reminded me of something, right? Because you're not the most popular with some Chelsea fans, right? Because you remember, I think it was about a month ago. Oh, it was about 6 weeks ago where there was a show and you said, you know, Tottenham have always been bigger than Chelsea.
The old Chelsea fan. I can't go down the King's Road at the moment.
I'll tell you, right? After that show, I must have run into about. It's like you know, you get that feeling. It's like literally everybody you're running into after that, they're all Chelsea. goes, that bald-headed prick, right? Tottenham are bigger than Chelsea. You tell him, Robbie, mate, I don't know what...
I don't know why.
They were on you, man. I'm telling you. They were on you. I'll tell you what, right? Good job, right? We weren't playing Chelsea in a few weeks after that. Good job we got the whole summer and that for that to cool down. They weren't happy with you,
I had loads of messages on. I expect it to get it on X a little bit, but on Instagram, do you know what I mean? Not you bald twat. Why don't I just say twat?
They were coming for you.
I
didn't see many twats. They weren't saying that on my one. It was more harsh.
I know there was a see you next Tuesday one as well. You bald-headed see you next Tuesday. You know what I mean? I felt like putting back truth hurts, didn't it?
The funny thing, then I see Tottenham fans.
Oh, they're loving me
Judges, he's all right.
You're an Arsenal fan.
I don't like you lot, Robbie, but I've always thought he's all right. You know what I mean? He's all right. Listen, what he said about Chelsea, he's right. You know what I mean? We they're a little club, but the Chelsea fans there.
Listen, I don't go around the King's Road that much. I'm up and down Cheshunt High Street most of the time. I choose my battles. You know what I mean? But look, Chelsea, they're giving me a little bit of stick at the moment, and.
But I don't want to.
I'll tell you what.
I don't want no more Chelsea players, man. This Madueke thing.
No.
I actually think he's a good player.
No,
don't get me wrong. I don't want him. I don't want
no more Chelsea players, especially when we're funding them and all that.
Why? And then even today, what disturbed me now, I'm seeing they're saying, Wanyeri's still contract's still at a delicate stage. Even he signed you bring someone like a Madueke, he predominantly plays on the right wing. So he'd be back up to Saka. What happens with Wanyeri then?
Yeah.
Don't even bother with. We don't need Noni Madueke. He's a decent player. Let him stay at Chelsea, man.
A little bit worried about Wanyeri, because I think he's a wonderful, wonderful player, and that. But he just faded towards the end of the season, you know what I mean?
He's only 18.
Yeah, and he didn't really feature in the under 21s. I thought he'd be storming that.
Well, he came on.
Yeah, played a big part in it. Yeah, but I'm looking at him and I'm thinking
he's only just turned 18.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other players that are at that age, But I don't know what. Maybe listen.
I want to see. I want Arsenal to keep him, and for him to be the understudy to Saka. We don't need to go and buy anyone on that right wing.
No,
he's the guy. You know what I mean? Let him develop. Let him become that player. You know what I mean? The left wing is what we need to concentrate on.
Yeah.
Right. And then he's seeing lots of rumours around that, like Trossard hasn't signed a new deal yet. I note that he's got a brand new agent now. That a lot of times signifies that as a player looking to get a move. Right. Martinelli. I saw Al Nassr, the Saudi team. Said to be willing to offer 80 odd million euros for him. That's about 70 million pounds. That'd be roughly what it would cost to get Rodrigo. Could he go? Havertz, apparently there's a bit of doubt on Havertz. You know what I mean?
I'm not Martinelli. I think it's getting a little bit of disrespect from a lot of Arsenal fans. I really do.
I don't want to sell Martinelli. I don't want to sell Martinelli.
I want Gabby staying.
Yeah,
I think he gets a harsh deal. You know what I mean? He does a lot for the team, which is not taken into consideration. The work rate he has to do, he sacrifices his own game to help out others. The left back situation is completely different to the right side. You know what I mean? Where you're asking whether it be whoever like Skelly or in the past Zinchenko occupying. Coming out of that space and going
inverting into
midfield,
so
leaving that the door open that Martinelli has to get back to. And then sell him.
I don't want to sell him. I want us to strengthen that left side.
Well, don't we?
For him and someone else to compete for that. I do think they're going to sell one of them, and if you're going to sell one, it does have to be Trossard because he's getting older.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean. That's the reason why I like Trossard as well, but just for the mere fact that he's getting older. But I'd like us to keep.
And
Trossard
again,
as well.
you get these fans going, you get more money for Martin. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day,
I still think Martinelli. I think he had a bad season. I don't think he'll have as bad a season He didn't have a terrible season, but I think he'll have a better season next year.
Why has everybody on to Martinelli, he had a bad season? The player that had the worst season last season, and was absolutely shocking for us, was Martin Odegaard, right?
Yeah.
No one's saying, let's replace him, let's sell him, get him, but it's always Martinelli. And I think it's a little bit hard. I'm not having a go at Odegaard here, because I think, he cannot afford to have a season like he did last season. I don't think he will. But everybody's always on to Martinelli all the time.
I like Martinelli. We've got to keep Martinelli and bring another left winger in on that side.
Havertz, where would he go?
Well, that's the thing. Today there's a bit of doubt around him, because there's apparently a lot of clubs in Europe interested in him. If Arsenal go and get a striker, he's not going to start as a striker. If they get Eberechi Eze, which, that's still out there, and, there's a lot of the talk is want Eze not as a left winger, they want Eze as an attacking midfielder. What happens to him? Because then all of a sudden you've got, battling it out there, you've got Eze, Marino, Rice, because you brought in Zubimendi now. Rice is going to be more of an attacking box-to-box. There's a lot of options. Obviously, you've got Odegaard there. Where does Havertz play?
Well, you know what I mean? He's going to pick his game up. At this moment in time, he's the only centre forward we got. So, at this moment in time, it didn't really work in midfield, but they're going to have to find a position where it's going to work for him. Yeah. Because if they don't, you know what I mean, this one will be on Mikel, because it's been 2 years. Listen, people go on about Havertz, this and that. He's a fantastic footballer, Rob. Don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic, but he's not a fantastic goal scorer. He's not like what we want to get us over the line as a forward. Is he enough to do it as a midfield player? I'm not so sure neither, you know what I mean? So, but listen,
look at Lee. This is official now.
That's come out now,
That's official.
That is a bit of a shock today.
Takehiro Tomiyasu has left the club. Arsenal just literally right now, as we're doing a show, of just put it out there, tweeted that, "Thank you, Tommy." They put with a love heart. "We've reached a mutual agreement with Takehiro Tomiyasu to end his contract with immediate effect." And they posted some pictures of Tomiyasu, a very popular player at Arsenal, but of course, as we know, ravaged by injury over the last couple of seasons. Injured at the moment. He's had to have a knee operation, out for another four months.
We've got to give him.
And now he had his contract was going to be up in 2026, so they've obviously just paid him off. Hence why now it makes sense why they're bringing in this kid Mosquera. Yeah, they're trying to bring him in, but what do you make of that? I mean, Tomiyasu,
shocked by it, to be honest, because
popular player, great servant at the club, liked by the fans. Yeah, gone.
Bit shocked, maybe because he's still injured. So it does look like it's probably more serious than what's first thought. And to be honest,
it's a bit harsh, that, isn't it? Just pay him off like free agent.
Listen, football's football. He's basically going to be, when he comes back, 2 years without playing football. That's a long time not to be playing football. And at a club like Arsenal, you're not going to come straight back into the team for. No. And listen, I think he was a fantastic defender. Yeah. So let's get that right. Fantastic defender. But unfortunately, too many injuries. Too many. And how many more times are we going to say this about players at Arsenal?
They've got to do something about this next season. We had the video that we did with Dr. Andre, where he said they need to sit down and assess the injury situation for last season. Are they overplaying and overtraining these players? Definitely, I think they overplayed players last year. They got to get more, need a bigger squad. I was just talking about what happens to this player and that player if Eze and this player comes in, etc. But we need a bigger squad. But Tomiyasu, gone.
Yeah. It's a shame, because I liked him. But, the fact of the matter is he hindered us last season, because by him being out injured all that time, and there's nothing against him, just saying, Timber had to play more games, and now Timber's gone down. Ben White was having to play for an injury, which has cost him 4 or 5 months of the season. You can't have passengers, Rob. I'm sorry, you can't have passengers. You know what I mean? We're a football club, not a bus. You know what I mean? You can't have passengers.
Shame, man. So Tomiyasu gone, Partey gone. 2 really influential players in the sort of
experience
team.
as well.
Experienced players gone. So
Tierney's gone.
Tierney's gone. So we are seeing a transformation now at Arsenal. Like there's 3 big players that have left.
And we've got in
Got 3 very injury-prone players.
We've got in Kepa.
More players are coming, man. I think the fact that they announced that, maybe we'll see the announcement of Zubamendi today. But it's still the striker situation. That's not sorted. We still, I mean, listen, the players that we're being linked to, apart from Madueke, and it's not that Madueke's a bad player, but I just don't want another Chelsea player at Arsenal. But if we get Gyökeres or Sesko, Rodrigo or Eze, I mean, those are quality names we're being linked to.
Yeah, and that's what we've got to do now, Robert.
We need at least 2 of those in.
It's fine bringing in a Norgard, and it's fine bringing in a Kepa and all that, and the young kid from Valencia, if that comes off, because you need to have depth in yourself. But we also need to bring in players that are going to improve our 11. And we haven't brought in a player in the transfer window over the last 3 transfer windows that has improved the 11. We've brought in squad players and all that, and that's not good enough. Like the last time we brought a player in to improve the 11 was probably Raya, Timber and Rice in that transfer 2 summers ago, Rob. 2 summers ago. You know what I mean? So the next couple of signings have got to be that improves our 11. So like the striker, if you get in whoever it be, is going to improve the 11. You know, if you can improve on the left-hand side, Martinelli, improve on that, And I also think, improving midfield as well. I think at the back we're solid. Goalkeeper, I think situation's done well. So these next...
Eze, though, would be...
they start back training on Tuesday, and we haven't got a striker. Like, this has gone now... Like all of January January, all of it. You can see why Arsenal fans are frustrated by this, and still haven't got in. And the
Chelsea, we need a striker. Bang! They're at the Club World Cup, and they've just signed Gittins.
Yeah.
From Dortmund, and they've signed João Pedro.
Yeah.
Look, listen, and they're not even. They ain't even here. If that was us, they'd be like, "Oh, we got to wait when we come back." But
yeah, like if we'd have signed João Pedro, I don't think every Arsenal fan would be happy about it. Like, it's not a dial changer as far, but that's on top of Delap, by the way.
So they've signed 2 strikers.
So they've signed 2 strikers, and they've still got Jackson.
Yeah.
So
2 strikers, and they've still got Jackson, and they've signed a wide player.
Yeah, and Arsenal have not got 1 striker, because we haven't got a striker at the football club.
Yeah.
Right? At the moment, and the 1 striker that we have got is injured, and we haven't done nothing. But people go, that's all right, be patient, be this and be that. Come on. It's got to...
I will join your side of things if that flight to Singapore comes.
Right.
There ain't no striker on that
Well, a lot
flight.
of people were saying wait till for the 1st of July, because that's when it all happens. And in the 1st of July, we bring in Kepa. Right? Come on. See, are they doing it deliberately to wind us up?
As I said, right, as long as when that plane gets ready to leave to go Singapore, I see a striker. When they show them when they're walking up the gangway thing to it, I need to see Sesko or Gyökeres walking up that thing. 100%. If I don't see them walking up, I'm now in your camp.
Thank you.
I'm in the angry camp. I'm in that camp, and I need to see even if I don't see Eze, or say it was an Eze, Rodrigo, I'm calm, sort of. But I need to see a striker walking up those steps, because if I don't, then I'm like, what are you guys doing? How can that be? The 2, even now, I'm starting to be honest. I'm starting to get annoyed with this situation. Let's go and get one of them, man. they seem to be sitting back and just thinking, we will wait until the price drops for one of these guys before we make a move. And yeah, that's fair enough because both of the players want to come to Arsenal. But what if, another big team makes a swoop? What if Liverpool ain't really, and, because of the sad situation now.
Yeah, they're going to have to move.
The sad situation, Jota was like he played down the middle as a striker most of the times. What if Liverpool make a move for Gyökeres, which was something we heard about a week or so ago, or for Sesko? So Arsenal need to get their move on now with this striker situation.
The biggest excitement that I've had through this transfer window is that they've changed the beer at the Emirates. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? They've got a new beer, like, you know what I mean? They've got rid of that Asahi now. Asahi, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's a good. I'm excited more about that than anything else. And I'm going to go up to them and ask them when I pull that first pint. I'm going to say, "Can I pay in instalments, please?" You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because that's how it feels, isn't it? Like, and what are they going to say to me? Like, no, you can't. Like,
they'll say, you can pay the instalments, but the beer glass has got a release clause. Right, so you got to take your hands.
Absolutely. It's true though, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh my
but
God.
I'm excited. What's the most exciting thing? That Arsenal changed their beer sponsor, like, you know what I mean? Like, get a decent pint at the Emirates for the first time in 3 years.
Hey, I like that. Is the Hells won't be there now?
No, it's gone.
I actually like the Pale Ale.
Pale Ale?
You know the Hells Pale Ale thing? I like that.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't like any of it.
You don't like it?
No, I don't like that.
I liked that.
I've got nothing against Camden as a town, but their beer's crap. Like, do you know what I mean?
I like that.
Oh no,
Asahi's nice as well.
Yeah, Asahi's nice. Hells, it says what it is, and it was a hell of a drink. Like, you know what I mean? I couldn't stand it.
I liked it.
Listen, I get it. You know, in clubs you get like a free drink and all that, and in the end I was drinking wine. You know what I mean? It's a joke. Like,
I liked it, man. Joe didn't like it.
Yeah, Joe is there. Thank you, Joe. Joe, now listen.
Yeah, but if you said to Joe,
he's a connoisseur of it.
So how comes when he was
he has it on his cornflakes, he knows exactly what he's doing.
So how comes you're at a ground then when you say, you drink it, don't you? If you say you want a beer, he never said no.
He never says no to beer, Joe. Like,
yeah, so now he's saying it's crap. I like it.
I
actually like it.
If I walked into a pub, right, and it's just Camden out, like, I'll walk out.
I actually was at a bar the other day and I actually ordered it. They had many selections of things. I like it. He says he still drinks it. He'd drink anything, wouldn't he?
He'd drink anything. He's like, you know what I mean? I remember him saying, like, I ain't going to drink on this trip. Like, He lies,
man. He lies.
The biggest, you know what I mean, liar of all, like that. But like, yeah, so that's it. The most exciting thing at Arsenal at the moment is that they changed their beer. Good transfer, Arsenal.
Well, listen, we've reached the end of the show today. Don't forget, we're here right throughout the summer. The season's starting to, like you said, players back in training
next
now.
Fully, all on the championship they are, but like. I think Arsenal back next week, Monday or Tuesday.
So starting to creep towards the football season, creep towards the end of the month when Arsenal will go to Singapore or Hong Kong. We'll be out there as well. Looking forward to that. But the season is starting to, and remember, let's not forget, hard start for Arsenal. Manchester United first game, Liverpool third game. You know what I mean? Leeds, newly promoted Leeds second game. Got to get their act together with these transfers and get them in early so that we can have a great pre-season. And, because that start of the season is horrendous. Got to hit the ground running.
Yeah. I remember when we went to Orlando, that one, like, all the players were there. I know Jesus and then Shinchenko come while I was there. And you had a little bit of a buzz for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not really looking forward to the season.
No, not at the moment. I need these players to come in. Definitely.
One quick before we go, like, just a little bit of an update on Adrian. Like, he's had some real positive news. So on the scans and things like that, they're working.
Adrian, of course, who came in.
Yeah, coming on the show.
Who had the cancer.
Yeah, and so the scans are showing now that he's got to go to some more next week, but they feel now that because there's been improvement, they might be able to do surgery. And that would be like fantastic news, like, you know what I mean? So,
well done. Well, listen, he was so positive when he came in. I know I've received lots of messages of people saying even things like they're praying. I remember there was a message that came in from America where they said that in their church service they were praying for Adrian. Amazing.
So he's had like fantastic response from it. And let me tell you, you know, well, between us and everybody.
Between us, everybody now. But you're telling the whole world now.
The whole world now that he has gone through it. You know what I mean? Like, there's been times when the treatment's really got to him and all that, but he keeps going and very, very positive, and he's had that positive news. So I feel like I wanted to share that with everybody.
Yeah,
like,
it's great news.
It's great news. So hopefully, like, if you can have the surgery, and they were saying that was like when he first got diagnosed, that was not an option because it was so severe and everything like that. But now the treatment has got that. So that's big news.
We started on some really sad news with Jota. That's great news to hear that, and let's hope that, you know, that if he does have that surgery, he's completely successful. Well done, Adrian. Just keep fighting, mate. Love it. Just before I go, you're an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace.
What have I done there?
I can't believe it.
What
have you forgotten?
What have I forgotten?
Yeah, what have you forgotten? I mean, this is shocking, people. This is probably going to go down as one of the most shocking things ever that I can attribute to Lee on this show.
Oh, I don't know.
What have you forgotten?
Oh, I haven't forgotten anything. You can't just throw that on me, like, you know what I mean?
Is this someone's birthday?
Oh, yeah, my mum's birthday.
And I want you to leave this in, people, right, and show it to his mum. Right, I'm going to send a clip to his mum. Yeah, right.
Yes, absolutely. Like, you're the disgrace.
I got you, mate. Don't back it out of that. See, he didn't remember his mum's birthday.
Yeah, my mum's birthday. So happy birthday, mum. Like, you know what I mean? So.
You doing a barbecue for her, though? Right?
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, she said, like, it was her birthday yesterday. Like, obviously, we was meant to be doing the show, and she's sitting there. So this was about a week ago. So she said, "You know what I want for my birthday?" So I'm going, "Yeah, a pair of slippers or something very great." She says, "I want you to do me a barbecue," like, you know what I mean? So
you're doing the barbecue.
I am, yeah, like, but
that's going to be the deadliest barbecue. You had to do jerk chicken.
No, it's just all you get round mine is a burger and a sausage. You know what I mean? Like, you know, one only.
Dead barbecue, man.
No,
just spice it up, man.
No, why am I
like a bit of jerk chicken?
Like?
You know what I mean? The jerk chicken.
Chicken, like, you know what I mean? I never even know that.
Man.
I never know.
You need a bit of flavours.
Yeah, like, they've got some barbecue sauce if they want it, like, you know what I mean? Like, burger sauce. I ain't one of these. If you go to a barbecue, it's a burger on it. I actually went to whose bar? I'm not going to name and shame. 2 barbecues I went to in the last. I'm not going to name and shame, but one barbecue I went to, right? I didn't have a burger on offer. That's bad, right?
I did a barbecue the other day with no burger.
Well, that's bad, right?
Jerk chicken.
I think that's bad, right? And secondly, I went to a barbecue last week, right? And no cheese for the cheeseburger. That's. I had to have a burger, not a cheeseburger.
So all you're going to do for your barbecue is just a burger and sausages.
Burger, sausages. So you get a hot dog. You know what I mean? Like some, what do they call it? Like chicken on the skewer.
Chicken skewers. Okay,
yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
Right, you know, a bit of salad, peanuts, and crisps.
That barbecue sounds dead, man. Get like some jerk chicken up on that barbecue.
Plenty of beer.
People, I'm out, man.
Oh, come on, now hold on a minute. What do you mean you had your barbecue last week and you done no burger? No, who does a barbecue without a burger?
Me.
Yeah, well, I think that, you're having a go at me.
So what I'll do is if I'm doing a barbecue and like there's a lot of young, there can be some young kids there, then I'll do burgers, right?
Well,
This barbecue is actually Kenya. We was doing it because when her birthday was on, she was on holiday, so I missed it. So I actually asked her, "What do you want?" She goes, could you do a little barbecue?" And then she invited around her friends.
Right.
And then, jerk chicken, man. Lovely.
I remember when you done a barbecue out here that time, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I had about 4 ton of water, like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, but jerk chicken. But there was burgers in that barbecue.
Yeah, there was. Luckily, yeah, and rightly so.
Yeah, I mean, listen, sometimes I do burgers, but you don't.
Listen, if you ain't got a burger on a barbecue, it's like Arsenal's transfer window in January. Not good enough. Not good enough. Like, I'd be disappointed.
Also, if you do a barbecue, you don't have no chicken on it.
Look, listen, if I was round, I can't name and shame. But if it was my family's barbecue, right, and they put a burger on and they didn't have the cheese, I would be like,
no, I'd have cheese.
I'd be having to say, because it wasn't my family's, like, there was no cheese, I let it slide. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, but
yeah, you got to have cheese.
You got to have cheese, ain't you? And you got to have a burger.
You can have a burger. Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of times. I do barbecues, have burgers, but I actually, with my one, I did. As this turned into this like a food. This is like a food podcast, right? My one was jerk chicken. And I had fish as well, salmon.
Fish? God, I ain't coming to yours for a barbecue. That ain't a barbecue.
What's wrong with that?
No, that's
like salmon.
That's
like,
a 2 out of 10.
Like, it's beautiful.
So I don't like fish, but like 2 out of 10, like that is.
Bloody burgers and sausages.
Yeah, right and all.
Right, we're going to do a poll on it, right?
Yeah, come on.
Let's do a poll on it, right? Whose barbecue's better? My barbecue with jerk chicken and fish on it, right? Or his sausages and a burger
with cheese.
With cheese
and burger sauce.
We'll do a poll on it and we reveal the result
next week.
We'll reveal the result next week. Lee, thanks very much, mate.
I enjoyed it.
Happy birthday to your mum.
Thank you very much, Mum.
Well done to Adrian. And guys, enjoy your weekend
and enjoy life. Enjoy life. Enjoy
100%.
it.
Well said, Lee. Thank you.
The Invincible podcast. Myself, Robbie, and Lee Judges come together once a week to discuss all things Arsenal. Straight talking, considered discussion, brought to you by the fans of the only club in Football League history to go invincible.